again, this isn't anything already. There's people going, oh my god, this is racist. I can't listen to this anymore. That's bullshit, okay? I'm not telling you that my culture is better than anybody else's culture, or that, you know, that white people are better than black people, or that Asians are better than blacks. It has nothing to do with that. So get that out of your head right now. See, that's a whole thing in your head. Like, just what I'm talking about. You're so programmed that you already have these flags going up in your head right now. But what I'm talking about is, nobody's better than anybody else. There's no race or culture that's better than anybody else. But why is it, where do you think people get these thoughts that, you know, like whites or white culture is so evil and you need to feel ashamed about it, but that everyone else should celebrate their culture and be who they are and it's this great celebration of life, but only whites can't do it. It's like, it needs to go both ways. You know what I'm saying? This is the heart of the matter here. Really isn't racism or race or anything. It's just that it just proves how people's minds are shaped by TV. You know, it's it's just proof in animation. It's like walking proof of it. And it's like when people gasp and they go, all that. What's going on right there? When people gasp, what do you think that's saying? It's saying, oh, everyone be at ease. I'm not one of those white people. You know, it's just, you might not even be offended, but people just automatically do that as a response. You know, and like I said, there's things that you should be offended about, like Michael Richards, and then there's things that you shouldn't be offended about, like, facts or observations. Um, so, another thing I want to get into is like the double standard. Like, and I've kind of already been talking about this, but why is it okay to absolutely put somebody up on the cross and just basically crucify them on television, which they probably should, like somebody like Michael Richards, which you've all seen 100 times. But then I'm going to show you this clip, and then ask yourself, how was this not all over the TV, and how did this guy get away with this, and it wasn't even a big deal? I mean, put the shoe in the other foot. If this was a white guy saying this about black people, it would have been the biggest news story on the planet for a year, and you would have heard nothing except this on the TV, and they would have been dissecting it and playing it over and over and over a million times, and it would have been the talk of the town forever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you this video clip, and then as you're watching this, ask yourself, how is this not a huge news story? How did this guy not get crucified for doing this? Okay, and it's just an example of how TV works to program your mind, and people get all these thoughts about how they should be and how they should be acting and what they should buy and what to do to make people like them and how they can fit in and all this stuff, and it's just shit. Okay, so I want you to watch this real quick and just keep those things in mind.
Planet. And the nigger that's on the planet is the one that is destroying the water, the one that's polluting the air, the one that is exploiting people and resources. And the only nigger on the planet is the white man and the white woman. And then our people are not niggers, we are imitation niggers. How we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. That we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us. And I will leave on that. So we have to just set up our own system and stop playing and get very serious and not be diverted from coming up with a solution to the problem. And the problem on the planet is white people.
Okay. Now, after watching that, just ask yourself, how was that not all over TV? How was that not like the biggest news story in the last, 3 years? I mean, can you imagine what would have happened if the shoe was on the other foot there? The man would have been he would have been just torn to pieces. His life would be over right now. His life would be over. The media would have him by the nuts. So, I think you just need to ask yourself why, why is that happening? Why wouldn't they make a big deal out of that? And the funny thing is go look up that video on YouTube and look at all the responses. Look at all the comments people leave on the bottom of that video. Oh, well, some of the stuff he says is true. Oh, well, that doesn't, necessarily mean that all black people are racist and blah, blah, blah. Well, right, it doesn't mean that. But now go to the Michael Richards video and go look at the comments on that. Oh, I hope this white piece of shit rots in fucking hell, blah, blah, blah. What a racist motherfucker piece of shit. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. Which, that was a racist, shitty thing to do. And I hope that, he spends the rest of his life thinking about that. But then why doesn't the guy in the video I just showed you have to spend the rest of his life thinking about what he said? I mean, do you see the justice in that, or no? I mean, it's ridiculous. There's just an absolute, complete double standard. And you're conditioned and you're programmed to feel guilty if you're white. And, you're also programmed and conditioned that when the shoe's on the other foot, it's like, well, that's okay because you had that coming. Or, you're just conditioned like, it's not racism if the shoe's on the other foot. It's just years of oppression coming to the surface, That's crap. That's total crap. I mean, everyone's like, oh, racism needs to stop now, but then they want to condone those kinds of things, like you just saw in that video, and say, well, you had it coming. I mean, that's just to make up for all the other stuff. Bullshit. If you really want to end racism, let's end it, You're going to have to do that, from within, You can't justify one thing because, of something else. It doesn't work that way. Either you want to stop racism or you don't. And in order to do that, you got to make it a level playing field. The problem is that it's not a level playing field right now. Just turn on your TV any time of the day, any day, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And there's a lot of things that you don't see because there's a lot of subliminal messaging going on, and I'm going to get into that too. Not in this video, but we're going to get into that a lot. How much subliminal messaging is out there on the cover of every major magazine. This stuff is all over, and you don't know it now, and you think I'm bullshitting you until I show it to you, until you see it. And as far as TV, I'll tell you what. Turn on MTV or VH1 tonight at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and instead of watching the video itself or actually listening to the music, look at the top, middle, and bottom of your screen for these white flashes. They're like quick flashes of like just garbled stuff, real quick, like it's like a fraction of a second. And watch how many times that happens during a video. And I'm just going to tell you that that's not a flaw. It's not it's not like tracking, or it's not like a burp in the digital output of your TV or anything like that. It's subliminal messaging. It's been proven. It's been shown. People have accidentally paused their TiVo at exactly the time that these clips are going across their screen, and they say things. They're messages. A lot of times it's just advertising. A lot of times it's not. It's things like the word obey across your screen. And it's real quick. It's like a fraction of a second. What's going on is your conscious mind can't see it. It's way too fast for your conscious mind to see. You just see it. You don't even see it because it's so fast. You just you just ignore it until like I said, like you're actually looking for it, like I want you to do. What's going on is that your subconscious mind can see things like 10 times faster than your conscious mind. It can read. It reads those messages flashing across the screen. It reads it and stores it. So now, when a situation comes up or anything comes up, your conscious mind accesses your subconscious. Well, what's in your subconscious? It's thoughts that are already there. How do thoughts get there? Well, things like that. You watch TV. You're pounded non-stop with this crap, with the subliminal messaging and all. This mind-shaping garbage